Extinction once directed was directed by Michael Bay, and this movie came out in June 2014, and this movie is really really terrible. So I thought Dark of the Moon was the last movie, but Michael Bay and Paramount Pictures decided to make a forced Transformers movie now. Since Age of Extinction has gone different with new cast, old characters from the last three movies are gone, which is sad for me. Shia LaBeouf's gone. Well, Sam's gone. Michaela's gone. Carly's gone. Sam's parents are gone. Epps is gone, and Colonel Lennox is gone. Simmons is gone. Everybody from the last three movies are gone. Both gone. So now, let's get into it. So Transformers: Age of Extinction. So the humans decided that the Autobots and Decepticons are not cool anymore after what happened in the Battle of Chicago, and all the Autobots and Decepticons are hiding from the federal agents, from the federal agents and the government, and Mark Wahlberg, who's in this movie, teams up with Optimus Prime, and him and and he has a daughter named Tessa, played by Nicola Palace, and she has a boyfriend played by Jack Rayner, and they both team up with Optimus Prime and the Autobots to fight against a main villain Decepticon named Lockdown. This movie, I gotta say, Michael Bay makes the same exact last three actings of this movie, and Transformers: Age of Extinction is the same exact thing. We have a new cast, a new lead role for this movie, and that person is Mark Wahlberg. I'm a big fan of Mark Wahlberg. I don't blame him. I never blame him for being in this movie. Even though Mark Wahlberg is all like, no, no, I don't want to be in the movie, and then yes, he's just fine, fine. I'm gonna be on one condition. Well, you're in the last night as well, though. So I'm sorry, buddy. So I like Mark Wahlberg. He's my favorite actor of all times. He's been my favorite actor since The Lovely Bones, since Max Payne, which is fine. Just saying. So Mark Wahlberg plays an inventor, and he's really good in this movie. He gives a really good lead performance in this entire film, and I'm glad he did on the entire movie. And without him, he picks up an alien gun and he gets into action mode, and you don't see him going around shouting out Optimus, Bumblebee a couple of times. He's not doing all that, or he's saying his daughter's name, Tessa. Well, he did say Tessa. I didn't really have a problem with him saying Tessa the entire movie. I didn't really have a problem with that. Nicola Palace, who plays the 17-year-old daughter Tessa in the movie, she gives a really excellent performance, but she has been Michael Bayified a little bit. The reason why she was Michael Bayified because Michael Bay has probably put all this makeup on her to make her make the makeup look perfect, like she's a Victoria's Secret model. For her to have all this pink luscious makeup on her cheeks and some on her lips, and some of this makeup on her eyes and eyelashes and stuff to make her and give her blondie hair to make her look perfect the entire movie. But she gives a really excellent performance. But Jack Rayner, his character has been very 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 jokey. You know what? And he's been bit of a joke the entire movie. He has not been helping her out a lot. He has not been helping Kate a lot in the movie. But he just surrenders to the people now. He surrenders for no reason at all. And Kelsey Graham, I gotta say Kelsey Graham is really really good here, and Titus, whatever his last, or no, is it Titus or Titus, whatever his first name is, Welliver. He's really good here, but I'm not really good at his pronouncing his last name well. But I'm gonna do everything in my power, Mr. Welliver. I apologize if I incorrect your first name. It's just that I'm doing my best to pronounce your first name very well. I'm trying. I apologize for your first name not being pronounced well, but I'm doing everything that I can to get your name pronounced well. And also, Bing Lee, or Bimby Lie, because her last name is spelled Li, and that's it. And I was like, I think it spells Lee or just best or Lie. I don't even know. So Bing Bing Lee is really good in the movie. You know, yeah, I really like Bing Bing Lee. I think she's really excellent in the film. She gives really good. She gives really good chemistry the entire movie. And also Sophia Miles is really good here. They're both great. And T.J. Miller, I gotta say, he's unfunny because he's Michael Bayified. I don't blame him. It's not his fault that he wanted to be in the film. I liked him in Deadpool 1 and 2. He was fine in Yogi Bear. I liked him in this one as well, but he is by Michael Bayified. And everything else, like Stanley Tucci, played by with Stanley Tucci, who plays Joshua Joyce, who works at the KSI, who made the company a better place. He makes man-made transformers like Galvatron and Stinger, like he did. And I gotta say, he was fine. Stanley Tucci's okay in this movie. I like Stanley Tucci though. I liked him in the live action Beauty and the Beast Disney live action movie. I liked him in that one. He was fine in Beethoven, the first Beethoven movie. He was fine. I just didn't even know he was in that movie. I rewatched Beethoven the other day. I was like, I didn't know he was gonna be in this movie. I just didn't know he was actually gonna be in the movie. All that, I don't even know. But for me, I gotta say, for the rest of the Autobots, let's talk about one Decepticon. Galvatron transforms into this truck that I didn't really expect him to transform into a truck, but he transforms and turns. Whenever he transforms into a robot, he has this. He this. His truck actually separates and turns into some kind of Lego looking pieces, and he transforms into a robot. And I'm like, this is reminds me of you building Legos. Or actually, no, I'll take that back. This does when I look at Galvatron, he does remind me a little bit like a Creo Transformer, the way he transformed. And for the rest of his KSI units, the rest of his K with the rest of his KSI Transformers Decepticons, they actually do the same thing as he did. Um, and we get Stinger. Stinger has the same exact mode as Bumblebee when he transformed into that little when Bumblebee transformed into that new Camaro, that new yellow Camaro mode. Bumblebee always transforms into a Camaro, like always. I don't know why, but that's his style. I'm not gonna judge. But for Lockdown, this dude, Lockdown is a badass main villain in this movie. He is great. He looks really awesome in this movie. I gotta say, Lockdown is taking himself seriously, and he just speaks into this villain voice. Optimus Prime, come to me. Man, Lockdown is a really good He's a bad Decepticon though, but his eyes are green. My only issues with him, he has green eyes. Matter of fact, I'm gonna leave him alone. But he's just like he transforms into a dark gray Lamborghini, which actually looks really good for him. And for Crosshairs, I gotta say, the rest of the Autobots in this movie, like the Dinobots, are badass. I love the Dinobots, like Grimlock, Strafe, Scorn, and Slug, or Slag, whatever his last name is. Well, whatever his name is, I don't know. Slug. I haven't watched Transformers Age of Extinction in so long. I haven't looked into toy lines in so long. And also, how makes me laugh a little bit in this movie, played by John Goodman. I don't blame it either. And also Crosshairs. I bet people are gonna say he does sound like Jason Statham a little bit. He does sound like Jason Statham in the movie, but he's not voiced by Jason Statham. But he sounds like Jason Statham. Crosshairs, the Autobot, is what I'm talking about. And Drift is really cool in this movie. I like when Drift transforms into his helicopter form. But my only issues with him, he doesn't show his transformation when he's in car mode. He did show it in The Last Night, but he didn't show it in Age of Extinction, which is my only issue, because we only see him transform into a helicopter like twice or three times, maybe. And the rest of the special, so don't blame Michael Bay for the special effects. I love the special effects in this movie. The special effects, the action sequences are great. The IMAX the IMAX experience with this movie is extremely cool. But this Transformers movie is easily as bad as it is be, because we're not getting to the military subplots at all. We only have the federal agent subplots in this movie. We only have the KSI subplots of this movie. Is when Stanley Tucci works at this KSI place. He probably made that he probably made that business as his dream, and make the world a better place. And for Sophia Miles, he works for him. Well, no, sorry, Sophia Miles works for him, and she has done an excellent job with her performance, including Bing Lito, both great in the movie. They're trying not to make their characters seem extremely complaining or extremely hammy or extremely far down low. They're trying to take themselves up top to be more serious. And even though Bambi Lee and Sophia Miles give really excellent performances in the movie, that at least their characters are not recently annoyed by Transformers. We're not trying to be annoying. At least Transformers fans are really impressed with their performances. And lucky, there's some annoying characters in this movie, like Hound. I don't blame Hound. I really like Hound in this movie. He's one of my favorite characters. But sometimes a lot of people, I bet a lot of people are gonna say he looks like Bulkhead from Transformers Prime and Transformers Animated at the same time, the way he's designed. But I normally would be saying, hey, I'm gonna call him Bulkhead instead of calling him Hound. For me, why make Hound an overweight Autobot? Michael Bay, what have you done to this Transformer? I feel bad for Hound right now. And even though he has a beard, it's a lot of weirdness going on. My only issues with the movie, there was one scene in the movie where Ratchet was killed. Autobot Ratchet was killed by Lockdown and the federal agents. I felt bad. That was hard to watch. But this movie was so lucky. This movie didn't have any military subplots. We only have a little bit of the federal agents and the KSI subplots, and now all the humans know all about the Transformers, and figure out what happened in the Battle of Chicago. They took all their bodies and probably made all that stuff into Galvatron. Put some of the parts, make them out of made for Galvatron and Stinger. And speaking of Galvatron, we might get a Galvatron as a Studio Series figure. Hopefully, either this year or next year. I assume it will be next year. I guess we don't know yet. Maybe this. I don't know. Maybe after Christmas, we might get a toy fair of the Studio Series Galvatron, the other Transformers figures that we saw in the movies. Or normally as Studio Series figures. You know, I love Studio Series. What I love about the movies are the Studio Series figures because I love the toy lines, the previous toy lines that we had before. I love the Studio Series lines, the Studio Series lines. I really love the Studio Series lines is because the way that the Transformers actually did look in the movies, you can't blame Hasbro. You have to blame the movie designs of how they were transformed in those movies. And yes, we already have a Sentinel Prime. We don't know when. I don't know when we're gonna get Sentinel Prime and Overload and Scrapper, I guess. Yeah, Scrapper. I don't know when we're gonna get Sentinel Prime, Scrapper, and Overload. We don't know we don't know when those Studio Series figures come out in the U.S. Maybe they come out like probably like May or maybe like next month or maybe the month after. We don't know yet, but we have to wait and see. So yeah, my only issue is also there's some sometimes there's some really good sequence. There's a really good sequence when the Autobots reunite back together, and I'm like, wait a second, where what reunite? Autobots reunite. What does this mean? Does this mean Hound and Crosshairs and Drift? We only have Optimus Prime and Bumblebee, Crosshairs and Drift. And at least for the most part, we have Brains. Brains is really in the. I'm glad Brains is in the movie. Maybe Michael Bay didn't really want Wheelie in the movie yet until the last night. At least he's in the last night. But sometimes this movie, you can't blame the special effects. Like I said, I love the special effects. I love the action sequences. I love the CGI. And for Lockdown Ship is really badass as well. At least he got these transforming dogs. I don't know why he has dogs in the movie. They look like werewolves. Wow. And my only thing I love about the Dinobots, they're really big and huge in the movie, but not really. They have a little. They have like kind of like the same size as a little bit of like a hotel. And I'm say, wow. I like Grimlock. I like when he transforms into his little T-Rex mode, including. I don't know nothing about dinosaurs. All I know is a T-Rex and I'm not. I don't know. I'm not into dinosaurs anymore. That's over with. But I like the Dinobots. Um, But Michael Bay and his writers team, I gotta say, they make the same exact thing over and over and over again. That's my only issues with Transformers: Age of Extinction, is because the same acting that's in this movie are copied from the last from Dark of the Moon, Revenge of the Fallen, and the first Transformers movie. And that's my only issues with Transformers: Age of Extinction. And this does not look like Age of Extinction. This supposed to mean human extinction. This has not been an Age of Extinction Transformers sequel. My only issues with the movie is um, Age of Extinction has not been concentrating on Age of Extinction, but they could have left the whole Battle of Chicago thing alone for a little bit. You only had to do is be like, hey, let's do this. But Mark Wahlberg could have been, if Shia LaBeouf didn't want to be in the movie, fine. He just doesn't care. So let's say this. Let's say Mark Wahlberg could not be Kay Yeager. He can be Sam Witwicky. He can be the father version of Sam Witwicky. We will get the beginning of. Let's start with the Battle of Chicago stuff. Let's do this to make sense. Let's do the Battle of Chicago stuff first at the beginning of the movie. Then we get to the Age of Extinction stuff. Then we get a few years later, and then we get Mark Wahlberg as Sam Witwicky, have a daughter. Let's say Kate Winslet plays Carl. Let's say Kate Winslet plays Carly, the mother version of Carly in the movie. Have a daughter, reunite with the Autobots, fight lockdown. Boom. That's it. That's all. So that's the only thing that Michael Bay could have done. Like, say Mark Wahlberg was Sam Witwicky as a father, have a daughter. Like, say if Kate Winslet was in the movie, play Carly. But I'm happy for Mark Wahlberg. I'm happy for him. But my only issues with him and his daughter never explain how the wife slash mother passed away. The mother has passed away, but they didn't really explain. The movie didn't really get to the flashbacks. There were never flashbacks in the movie of how about Cade and Tessa's past, of how the mother passed away. Well, Flash wife passed away. And I really love the way when this movie actually takes place in Texas, USA. But all of a sudden, you see a sign. There's one scene in the movie where you see a sign that says "Remembering Chicago." And now the humans are really concerned that all the Autobots and Decepticons are still alive. They have to go or they have to die. They all have to get killed. They have to go. Well, that does not look like Age of Extinction to me. This is way too much idiotic humor, way too much facial stereotypes, way too much, and also the same exact acting from the last three Transformers movies is my only bad thing about this movie. I remember when The Last Night came out, there were a lot of questions of who was the last night, and some fans have asked if Sam died, or Sam has is Sam still alive, is Sam dead? Well, we don't know yet, but that's the only thing about Transformers: Age of Extinction. I love when the Dinobots were designed a little bit like Cybertronian Transformers, but at least from Michael Bay, he makes the same thing. I'm glad Mark Wahlberg actually teams up with Optimus, and Optimus is in his little invasion mode before he chooses the Western Star Trek. And for Bumblebee, he transforms into some kind of little 1970s um car. I don't know what kind of car is it, but it does look like a Fast and Furious type car in the movie. And it does look like a car. It does look like one of those cars from the movie called Ford versus Ferrari, and Bumblebee transformed into this really cool new Camaro version. I'm glad he did all that. But his design in robot mode copied from Stinger is my only issues with Transformers: Age of Extinction. Um, that's what could have happened with Transformers, even though Michael Bay, even though not just Michael Bay makes a mistake. Every director makes a mistake sometimes. That's why I'm a big supporter of these movies. That I want of what the movie should actually make sense, of what that scene should actually make sense. For Transformers: Age of Extinction, Dark of the Moon, The Last Night, Revenge of the Fallen, and the first film, Bumblebee was actually a really good success and actually played safe for a child to watch. Because Bumblebee was actually a really good Transformers movie, and maybe Travis Knight can hopefully actually make future Transformers films like he did with Bumblebee, because he grew up with G1. And I grew up with G1 since the 1986 Transformers movie, and that's why I grew up with Transformers. And I love these movies still. That's why I'm trying to give support with these movies of what every single scene in the movie actually should make sense. But Michael Bay never done any of that. All of our characters that we love in the last three movies are gone. Because I thought Dark of the Moon was the last movie, but all of a sudden Paramount Pictures decided to make another Transformers movie. So, at least the rest of the adventures from traveling around the world in the movie. So we get Texas, USA, Chicago, and we probably get Hong Kong. And I think that's all I gotta say. And the final battle, I love the final battle. It's also pretty good as well. The action sequences, the rest of the action sequences and the fighting and the final battle is totally awesome. But that's all I gotta say for this movie review for Transformers: Age of Extinction a little bit. I just haven't watched it in a while, but I did watch it, rewatched it last. I watched this movie like 3 times already, so that's all. I'm gonna rewatch the last night. I'm gonna rewatch the last night and see if I can review it. Well, I am gonna review it by next month anyway, so that's it. So that's all I gotta say for this movie review for Transformers: Age of Extinction. So be sure to like and subscribe, press notification button, follow me on Instagram, comment down below, and I'll see you on my next video. And thank you for watching.